All right. What's today? Today's Monday, isn't it? I'm shocked. I'm shocked that there's an update today. I'm shocked. Oh, look who it is. We got Chicken Engineer in game. Right here. Mr. Chicken Engineer himself. Did I heard Dinosaur? Did you heard Dinosaur? Apparently there's new playable. So, let's see. So, new creature. Oh my gosh. Tucaria has been added in the game. Concept model rig by Reef, animations by Survivor, Lexo, Blame, Barry, and sounds by Phoenix. Ichthyosaur remodel has been added into the game. Model rig animations by Survivor, model and rig by Reef, and sounds by Phoenix. We got a bunch of recolors for each of them. Let's go ahead and look at this. I had to regrow my spawn because somebody murdered me. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's save the new creature for afterwards. Okay, we got the recolors. I'll look at those recolors. Okay. Well, we're obviously gonna buy all of these. Obviously. We're gonna play as the base one for right now. Mid update anyway, see ya. Mid update. Man, we just got off of like a huge update cycle. Let's see, let me turn the volume. Alright, man, this thing is really well animated. Like, look at this thing. Okay, so this is the Ichthyosaur remodel. Let's see. Let me get on land. Will it flop like a fish? That's the question. It will! Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay. See the roar? Oh my god, shut up, alligator. See the growl? Right on, right on. Okay. See the call? Interesting sounds. Alright, I'm not gonna swim near that thing because I don't want to spoil it just yet. I think the server might be a little laggy. Just a little. Okay. Let me go out into like the ocean. So I'm not being bothered by the noise from coming from mid. Holy moly. Okay, let me swim away. Let's turn down the volume a little bit. No Mo's remodel? Not yet. Okay. Oh. Never mind. Alright. Gonna rejoin. See. Everything above. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh. Oh, joy to the world. Oh boy. The stats have been changed. Let me take a look up Binoterra. If albino terror has changed, I'm gonna be okay. Alright. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. These albino stats make 0 sense. Okay, where's Jelio? Where's Jelio? Yeah. I I really don't like I really don't like these stats for albino terror. I don't know why in the world we got that. That is, oh my god. That's ridiculous. This is ridiculous, dude. This is ridiculous. What's going on here? Who thought that this was a good idea to bring albino terror to 185 and 1.9k HP? And also, let me just point this out. Give it 2 bleed. How come Evanicus gets a more bleed but loses like double its health? But albino terror is gonna sit here and get more bleed and more health and more damage and only lose cooldown, and it's only like what, 0.2 seconds maybe. This is I'm so done. I'm about to make a I gotta be careful when I make my video because I'm like ready to get angry at these stats. But anyways, let's go ahead and show off the Ichthyosaur stuff. If I can. It might bug out. Yeah. Looks like I bugged out in menu. Alright. There we go. Getting to a different server than chicken. Oh, I'm ready to complain about these restats. Also, the Flyer's nerf? Oh. Well, they didn't nerf Kaiju Jelio. That's a flyer. Anyways. See the... Okay, let me go into mid where there's, like, actual, like, light where you can see. So here's the swim animation, just the regular swim. Pretty right. Here's the sprint swim. If I can do it. Okay, I'm gonna like a leg server. There we go. There's sprint swim. Pretty cool stuff. We got the bite animation. Just a headbutt and a little bit of biting. Interesting. Yeah, we can look at the eat animation real quick. Just a simple eat. I'm lagging. The server is laggy. Okay, is there a drink animation for this guy? No. There is! There's a drink animation. It's simple. There is a drink animation. You can kind of flop on the side and swim sideways. That's cool. Swim down and swim up. See, what's the AoE? Just simple, just kind of extra bite. They buffed Kaiju Jelly. Never mind, I remember they discarded the flyer nerf. Was never posting. Yeah. I don't understand what's going on with the stat team at this point. I'm starting to get irritated. Stat team's starting to get on my last nerves. Alright, let's look at the new playable. Alright, it kind of just looks like a whale. And it's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. 10k. Lucitic Tokistor. Jet black. And then gray. Interesting. So I guess gray is a recolor. Is that different than grayscale? Yeah, well, it is different than grayscale. So let's select the regular one. It's gonna spawn as a baby at first, and I'm gonna menu and row it. Alright, let's menu grow. Spinning all my DNA. Make sure it's grown. It's interesting seeing prehistoric whale. This thing's very whale looking. Right, let me see if I can get some more food. I like this thing's swim animation. It's got a great swim animation. It's got good stats. Oh, and that's the idle. Kind of flips upside down. Interesting. It's got 480 oxygen. I wonder if it's got a beached animation. Oh, it does. It does have a beached animation. Dude, I love it when they do beached animations. It's one of my favorite things, is these beached animations. Because it makes the aquatics feel like a lot better. You have a drink animation? You do. You just kind of open your mouth. Alright. Well, here's the swim animation, as you guys have already been seeing. This is the brand new playable. This is the swim animation. It looks awesome. It's a very smooth swim animation. Here's the sprint swim. My server will stop lagging. It's just like the regular swim animation, but kind of faster. I can breach like a whale. Let's see. Then we get the bite. It's just a simple bite. Kind of head tap. Oh, it does a tail tap too. Now, is it based on where you click? Probably not, if I had to guess. Tail thwack. So yeah, it's just a tail thwack or head tap, and then it's the AoE. So is it just the spin? Where's the AoE at? There it is. So yeah, it's just a simple spin. That's interesting. I mean, these stats already are kind of crazy. 1.5k, 100 damage. This thing's definitely gonna be like hurting. Let's see, dude, these stats also high. It should have been spin-off of Dinosaur Simulator. That looks weird. Walking with beasts. Well, Dinosaur Simulator doesn't only have dinosaurs. It also has prehistoric creatures. I wish they would add Dimetrodon in. Dimetrodon would be a great addition, in my opinion. Let me see. You get a sleep animation? Just kind of flops down like that. And I don't think I would be able to sleep on land because it would be the wrong environment. Again, I'm lagging in the server. Yeah. We don't care about testers. Shoo. Better Lexo. I'm gonna say that's not Lexo. Truck. Who's Truck? It's not Allie. Is that? No, it's not. I don't know who Truck is. Remodel G Barrow and G Torvo. That would be cool. Remodel of those. AV needs a buff. What they did to Terra. Terra gave genuinely 2 shots AV. Yeah, no, yeah, these Terra stats are kind of insane. We might have to do some testing with Terra. Although I do like the new whale. I think it's cool. I think, like I said, we need a map that's like almost completely aquatic. Like, I love new aquatics, but the problem is, unless they're gonna be meta in like wars and stuff, like it's not gonna be played. I don't know. I mean, people are saying these stats are pretty good. 1940, 125, 15, 3. I mean, that's not bad, yeah. And 1 bleed. Ooh, and 1 that cooldown. It seems to be like these stats are pretty alright. Let's see, what is it contending with? I know Dolly's pretty good in the water. It's got the same amount of damage as Dolly. What else is good in the water? Spinal Forest is pretty solid. Spinal Forest kind of hits hard, though. Let's see, what about the other aquatics? 15. Let's see, what... I don't know what its speed, everything's speed is. Archelon. Just kind of trying to compare its stats. 90. Crotoxy 130. I mean, yeah, this damage is actually pretty good. Next whale recover, new whale recover we glitched have for Prognithidon stats. Really? I don't see prog stats on any of them. Oh, they were glitched. Yeah, they got patched. Makes sense. Okay, let's look at... These recolors, like, they're interesting, but they're not, I mean... They're kind of basic. It's kind of just white and black. Okay, I think I'm going to go in my private server. This server is too laggy. If I can load my private server. There we go. Oop, there we go. Okay. Now we're in my private server. Theoretically, this should load better. Yeah, this is so much better. Okay, this is one of the recolors for this thing. It's kind of just white. And this creature costs 10,000 DNA. Kind of expensive. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, this skin's kind of doesn't have really much going on for it, so it's an alright skin. I'm glad we got a new playable though. My only thing is like it's an aquatic, so it's the likelihood of being used is not super high on a consistent basis. I do love it though. I do love the whale. And then just a jet black one. Interesting, another one. I'm sure people will like it. Let's see. Need some water. Not water, food. I don't know why the publics are so laggy for some reason. I wonder if it's because there's alligas in there. 55 range is decent, but not the best. Yeah. Let's see. And then let me look at ichthyosaurs. I'm glad Ichthy got a remodel. This was the old Ichthy model for a while. Now we have this one. This one's significantly better. Let's look at all the ichthyosaurs. I do like this recolor. These recolors kind of... These ones are like really good. These recolors are great. So there's you, the sour one. Kind of like a sandy color. It possibly blend in with the ground from a distance. Not really, but kind of. Marsh. I like this. This one's also nice. Let's see. Get a nice little accent color alongside its like brownish coloring. It's like a river version of it. I do like that they have like recolors. So you even if the creature doesn't have a skin or you don't like the skins for the creature and you just want to play as the base, you have some like options. Scrolling down to the bottom. Those are very similar. Got like a nice bluish-esque tint to it, which is pretty nice. Got an interesting underbelly. Can you test the alleged Wraith AoE buff? I could. Let me put my private server link in the chat again. If I can get people in here to test. My private server link in there. Let's see, it was the last one grayscale? Yeah, okay. So it's a small update, but it's like back to the weekly updates that they said they were going to be doing. They said they were going to go back to doing weekly updates. And so now we have weekly updates again. Now, I don't know how good that underwater playable is going to be. I don't know if it's going to get used or not. Stats-wise, 1940 is actually pretty good. Like, that's pretty solid. And it's got on par damage with, not Leopleurodon, what was it? It was Cratoxyrhina? Yeah, Cratoxyrhina. It's almost got... So, I mean, genuinely, like, it's got solid stats. It's got a little less defense, but it's got solid stats. It's a nice looking creature. Let's see. Let's go to Albino Terror. This stuff pisses me off. This pisses me off. I'm so pissed off about the stats. I don't know why Terror needed a stat change. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to give Terror a stat change. I don't understand. I genuinely don't get why Terror needed a stat change. Terror was fine. Terror was used by like everybody already. Like so I genuinely do not understand why Terror needed a buff to make it even harder to fight against if you don't have it. Okay, so you said there's an AoE buff? I don't remember. Oh, I think it extends all the way to the tail now, because I don't think it did before. Hold on. Let me look at that again. Oh yeah, it extends all the way to the tail now. So Wraith Terror might actually be pretty good. How does teleportation work on this game? It's in private servers, so if you're a private server owner, you can teleport. You just have to press V. That's it. It got a forward range buff from what I saw. I'd have to enable hitboxes. But also I can check the thing. It's a 82. I genuinely don't know how to read these. But that's the AoE size. $51 is bad. Where are you getting 51 from? Did they remove grabbing enemies? Because I can't grab anyone. Third number. Oh, that's right. That's right. 51. I forget the hitbox size. I keep reading this as like thousands. Okay, yeah, you're right. So 51. 51, yeah, I've heard. Okay, 51 is bad. Good to know. I need to like study this so that I can actually make like a guide for people. Yeah. So, apparently, allegedly, all the restats are in the game now. So, Evanicus should have better range than it used to. Good. Let's say. We won't know until I give it a look. Let me get another account in here. Alright, let me... Vilex fix issue with AoE. Okay, so I don't know. Let's see if Abandoned Matriarch's still good. These stats are insane though. Why does Terra need 1.5? 50? AV had 50 base range? Bruh. Okay. I mean, I don't think they said that they nerfed this thing. Yeah, this thing's got 62. That's kind of crazy. This is still like an insane skin. If Terra is going to have these stats, I don't think it should have that. I don't think it should be able to range everything under the sun. That might just be me, but I don't think it should be able to range everything under the sun. Matri nerfed, it had 67. Oh boy. You said 55 was bad? Evanicus has 54. Let's see. Let me like look through all the AV skins. Hold on, give me a second. Let me look through all the AV skins. So base AV has 54. Forgotten Mutant, which was the good one. Let's see. Forgotten Mutant has 55. Man. Hey man, what's up? I can't stay for long. Time zones and school tomorrow, but I'm joining now. Right on. Okay. Let's see. So, throwback. Let's see throwback. I hate the throwback skins. Base AV was okay. Throwback has throwback. 46? Oh my god. Yeah, they don't want anybody using these things. Although I think they fixed the animations because I swear this thing was... That thing had broken animations. Okay. We got Firebird. We're just checking all of them to see if... Because apparently there's range buffs on these guys. 55. Okay. We would really have to test. Throwback AV is literally the only one with working animations. Really? That's surprising. For a while there, it didn't have working animations. Let's see, Ripper. Ripper has been kind of the undefeated champion of range. 51. Okay, well that I feel like that means that Ripper is no longer on top. Let's see. Lumi. Let's go Luminescent AV. Someone was saying that they think Plumie is like the best range-wise. 50. Okay. Mind you, this is with Matriarch being 62. People were saying that the AV stats wouldn't be so bad once it got its range increased. And I have a strong feeling that the AV stats are still going to suck because the things that it needs to worry about are still going to suck. I just got in DS, checked some things out, Vilex. Still hasn't got any buffs. That range buff is nothing. It's been a while. Oh, welcome in, Sir Blamison. We're just complaining about ranges right now. We just reviewed earlier of the new stuff. Yeah, 53. Yep. But no, let Albino Terror, that definitely needed a buff. That definitely needed a buff. I'm telling you guys right now that I'm so close to making a smear campaign video on the stat team. I'm at my wit's end with them, dude. I swear. I really am trying my best to give them the benefit of the doubt, but they are just absolutely just 50. Okay. Alright. So we gotta figure out what the best game. I have no comments on AV. I just care about my stuff. That's fair. That's fair. You didn't do anything this update, did you? You didn't. None of the models were by Reef, I think. Yeah. Oh well. I mean, yeah. Blamison. I might have to make a video on Jelio. I'm not gonna lie. I might have to make a smear campaign on Jelio. Simply put, because of this crap right here. Where is it? Hold on. Let it load. This number right here. 1525 on Jelio. On Kaiju Jelio. It actually has more health than Evanicus. It's actually insane. It's so. Yeah, no. 1500 is too much. Too much. Yeah, no. Evanicus, a glider isn't allowed to have like 1500, but Jelio can have it. Oh man. I'm so done with the stat team, man. I'm so done. I just have to be careful. And then Zombie AV's 48. Ooh. Okay, so which one was the best? I think it was Firebird, actually. I think Firebird had the best range. Were Indum's teeth fixed? Let me check. I'll check for you. I can't spell Mapu, apparently. Indomitable King. Yes, it looks like they were fixed. Let me go into like some shadowy area. Yeah, they're fixed. We're good. That was on accident. There we go. We're good. Yeah, I'm glad the teeth were fixed because they were broken for a little while. I don't think I've actually seen a lot of this guy around, honestly, since the movie event ended. God, my Evanicus is dying. Okay, so let's go. Actually, let me go Evanicus We're gonna test to see if Firebird's actually better than base Evanicus. Let me get another person up here. I will want to test Abandoned Matriarch against it. Cursive Mapu stats. Did you check Classic AV stats? Oh, Classic AV. You're totally right. I totally forgot about that guy. You're absolutely right. I need to do that. Let me do that real quick. Let's go Classic AV. If Classic AV has the best range, I will not be upset. I would actually be very happy if Classic AV had. $53. Okay. That's not bad though. That's not bad. We're not prepared for the Triceratops remodel. Dude, I hope that Triceratops model that I've seen so far has been pretty awesome. But I will tell you, Blame, if you have any hands in it, make sure your Triceratops model has good range. Otherwise, people are just going to use skins. Make sure that thing has good range. I promise you. Otherwise, people are just going to use whatever else in here. I don't even know if Triceratops is even meta. Honest to God. The starters better have good range. They don't. As far as I know, let me look right now. We'll look right now. Let me check right now. Trike 44. No, that's terrible. 44 is terrible. That is terrible range. The worst Evanicus skin has like 50 something. Yeah, the starters, I agree with you. I think the starters should be good. I think all the base starter, like no skin whatsoever, should be good at all points. Rex, 52. It's alright. It's solid. It's nothing too crazy. Dude, Trike is gonna get the most insane treatment. You should like go to the stat server and just like change it and just be like Trike good now, and just make it good. Because I genuinely, I don't think there's been a Trike meta in a fat second, so I wouldn't be against it being good. The Orny. I don't know if Orny's good. You should give Orny like insane range. 16. Okay, I don't know. Orny's really small, so I don't actually know how people calculate what's good and what's not. All I know is slightly numbers. I think there's probably some math to it that you can figure it out. Oh yeah, Orny is tiny. Okay, let me... So, I think Firebird was the best. Pretty sure that's what the best was. 55, yes. Okay. And just to go to show. Alright, let's see. Oh god, I need to feed this guy, hold on. I need to feed this thing. Oops. I need to turn off the volume for this game. I'm gonna get copyright struck for it. Alright, nice popping in. Gotta get back to work. Alright. Peace out, Blameson. Thanks for tuning in. Both movie spawnos have 60 range, but chaos better because of the hurtbox size ratio. Okay. So let's see. So let me bite from here. I'm gonna go until I can hit. Okay, so I can bite from there. Okay, surprisingly, I can bite from there as well. Alright. Okay, I can hit from there. Alright, so the range is like slightly better. Which I think... Yeah, with the numbers, that checks out. Because base Evanicus is 54. The base skin is 54. So Firebird is slightly better. Do you happen to know the chance of Venera? It's like really low. The problem with Terror... The problem with Terror, but it's... is that it shouldn't be fastest. That's what I was like. I was like, I don't know if the stat team knows that now Terra and Faso are the exact same speed. So you can't outrun a Faso if you're playing as Terra. Okay, let me switch to Matriarch. Speaking of Faso, check D-Rex post-nerf. Post-nerf D-Rex. Okay, that's true. I think I need to check D-Rex and I need to check Vanera, because I think Vanera got nerfed as well, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, 73. Wow, that's like, that's a lot. That's a big nerf to what it used to be. Can you put server link? Yes, I can. I'll re-put it in. There you go. AoE. AoE with D-Rex? Okay, hold on, let me get away from my nest. It's still a really big AoE. $73 is still very good. Hey, that's good. That's good that 73 is still good. I just don't know how good it is in comparison to the size. I bet you the same bozo who wanted that Terra buff are going to use the speed issue as another excuse to buff it again so it can be the most broken thing. I don't know. I don't know why we got a buff to Terra in the slightest. I don't understand. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I think Terra was in a fine spot. I think Terra was in a great spot. I think Terra's been oppressively meta for a very long time. Like, Terra's always been good. Always, always, always been good. And I don't understand the change to the stats. I genuinely don't understand it. And mind you, people were telling me that, you know, now that the AB changes are in, that AB should be better now. Hang on, I need to feed this guy real quick. And like, Matriarch is insanely good. Like, from last I checked, it was insanely good. Let's see, let me look at, because D-Rex was 73. This thing's 62, so it's like, it's got worse range than regular, but it's got, like, not the greatest range in the world, but still. Oh, the Kark still obliterate AB Terror before the buff was imperfect, but now it's just overpowered. Matches up mainly against base downers who are already barely stood a chance. Yeah, no, I don't understand. Okay, so let me do some range testing real quick. Because apparently, according to the stat server, that Evanicus's range changes would make it better and make the stats better. According to the Discord. According to the stat Discord. So, we're gonna see. Okay, so let's see. 185. Also, 185 damage. Look how much damage that takes out of Evanicus. Like, instantaneously. Like, what? Why? Why does it... Also, the bleed. Like, it has bleed. What? Like, 2 bleed is, like, crazy. Like, why do you need that? 160. Okay, I need to get water for this thing. Like, we sit here and we argue with people. I argue with people about, like, Evanicus' stats should be good. And they're like, oh, well, the small creatures. Well, the small creatures. And it's like, well, Albino also needs to be balanced around other creatures in the game, especially comparable theropods. The thing about DS is Terror shouldn't be oppressive towards the other theropods. It shouldn't be oppressive towards the other theropods. Because then it becomes just a game of, you know, playing Terror and playing hybrids. It becomes hybrid simulator at that point. And I know it pretty much already is, but I'd like to have the ability to, I think, not necessarily me, but, you know, people who don't have Albino Terror should have a chance against Albino Terror. Like, I feel like that's not that crazy to ask. I feel like Rex should be able to comparably, you know, either beat Terror or tie with it at very least, and it does not have enough range. And Terra's stats are insanely high. It's crazy. Like, oh god, I need to like get food or something. This guy. I need to like, kill one of my dinosaurs for this guy. Alright, hold on. Let's see. So I forget where the range was. Let me get the range back. He bit me. Okay. Right on. So here's the range. Here's the 62-meter range, right? I can guarantee you Evnicus can't bite back. I stand corrected. Sometimes I'm wrong. Okay. Alright. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And Matriarch can't hit Evnicus from that distance. Okay. Alright. That's better. That's better. Terra shouldn't stomp every single apex theropod it comes across, and yet it can do it now, almost all of them. Mega is balanced, AV is severely underpowered, and Terra is so overtuned now it's an Argent Slayer, no diff. You can't risk face tanking most. Most can't even range Terra, so it's practically impossible to kill them. Well, now apparently Evnicus can range Terra. Now Evnicus can, which should have been the case for a very long time. I feel like Evnicus should and has always, like, I feel like Evnicus should be able to range Terra. Like, I feel like that just makes sense. Because it's going to be weaker. Always. Alright. Can I test this thing's range? Sure. Here, you want to sidebox it? We might also need to test sideboxing. I haven't been doing that recently. Interesting. So, yeah, you would definitely not win that range fight. I could guarantee you all that already. They need to fix custom speed stats. That's true. Okay. It only affects walk speed, not swim speed or sprint speed. Yeah, they do need to change. Like, yeah, they need to change. It would be nice if I could change my glide speed in private service. That'd be nice because then I could make sure Evnicus glides at like 100 speed, 90 damage every 0.6 seconds, and 2.5 bleed. That is kind of crazy. But here, watch out. I'm gonna range test. Continue walking forward so I can hit. Okay. So that's where you hit Evnicus. Alright. Wow. Okay, so AV wins in the face tanking category, but loses in the side boxing territory. Which is just, I'm like, oh, again. So, don't fight Terra with Evnicus. You can't do it. Because nobody really runs combat like this. Nobody runs combat like this. And granted, this is not the best ranged skin for Evnicus. So it might be a little bit different with Firebird. So Firebird seems to be the best from what I can tell right now. Here, let me switch to Ripper and Firebird. Firebird. Buff Griffin, man, it's so bad. Let's see. You get Ripper. Don't. Crap. Okay. I mean, it's interesting having this one good now. Okay, I need to give this guy food. I need like there to be a map updates where they add like food on this bridge or something, like infinite food, because I need something to like, or like turn off hunger in private servers. That'd be cool. Oh God, evil kaiju jelly, evil creature, dude. Actually, I'm starving now. Hold on. I can teleport, so it's fine. Now, if anyone has Evanicus or Albino Terra, a face tank would be in order. I can't really face tank with the other account. It's very hard to AoE and bite at the same time on two different computers, so the swimming K quest. Yeah, exact, dude. That's what I don't understand. Why Kaiju Jelly needed these insane stats. It can fly and it can swim. Like that's one of the reasons why Pteranodon's not insanely powerful. It's because it can fly and it can swim. I don't know who came up with the idea to change the stats like that. It's ridiculous. Alright. Dang. Oh my. Okay. Wow. Okay. So that's where I can hit Ripper from. Yeah, Ripper's been dethroned, guys. I think I need to do another Meta Mysteries episode about this kind of stuff, but yeah, Ripper was dethroned hard. Even base Evanicus beats Ripper. So these stats are. This is very interesting. We got a new meta Evanicus. Alright. Alright, here. You Kaiju Jelio. Yes. Okay, here. Let's do a range test. You're not an adult? Bruh. Okay. Yeah, just used Match Simulator. Bot Terror went from beating Giga, Spino, Mapu, Puru, Rex to beating all of them except Puru. I've yet to test it with new stats. K-Arc is getting left in the shadows again. K-Arc is kind of annoying though, dude. Like that Kaiju Archelon kind of made me mad for a while. Favorite Dragon Ball character? I don't like Dragon Ball. Sorry. I don't like the art style. Sometimes I can't understand why stuff like Giant Albino Baryonyx and K-Jelly gets good stats, but K-Berry can't. I don't know. I understand why Giant Gab gets custom like stats. Gab was reverted. What do you mean Gab was reverted? What happened to Gab? Is Gab all right? I hope Gab. I think Gab should maintain having different stats. What? I'm lagging. Why? I think my menu broke. There we go. Okay. Why? Why is Gab normal? Wait, dude, Gab hasn't been normal since like it's been years since Gab's been normal stats. It's been actual years since Gab's been normal stats. Why did they change it? Why is Gab different? Why does okay, hold on. Kaiju Berry gets its own stats, but Gab doesn't. Gab, giant albino baryonyx. What are we doing? What's going on here? Why is this a thing? Why is this even a why? I'm so completely confused right now. Like I don't understand what's going on here. I don't even care if Gab got crazy range now all of a sudden. Gab should be different stats than base berry. I feel like that's been an accepted truth for so long now. Like, I don't know why we went back on that. I don't know why we backpedaled on that. Doesn't really make sense. Why is Gab different? Like what? Why has Gab been changed back to base berry? That actually hasn't been the case in like actual ages. And then Kaiju Berry being different stats but not Gab, it confuses me even more. And then Kaiju Jelio stats, just I'm at a loss for word for these. I'm at a loss for words for these. It's Kaiju Quetz stats. Did they nerf it? What did what did they change? What was its previous stats? Gab, I guess, yeah, that's a nerf. Oh, it had 115 damage. So wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, so 1.3, 1 bleed. Okay. And then let me look at this. Okay, 25. So it's got a little bit less health. It's got, mind you, this is double the defense it used to have, right? In the stat server, it said 20 to 30. That's not the case. This, prior to this update, was 15. That's what that was. That was originally 15. That was 15. Why does it need this? Okay. And then 1.2 and what? So why is this just better? Like that's 30, right? So this goes, okay, so let's take Kaiju Quetz, right? It says 20 defense. So you would subtract 20 damage from this, right? So that would be 80 damage. And then you would subtract 30 damage from this. So this would be 78. So and this has one more. I have a strong feeling that Kaiju Jelio would beat Kaiju Quetz. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's see. No, it's actually faster. It's faster than base. It's faster. It's faster than base Jelio. It's actually faster. It's faster than base Jelio. And it can fly. It's slowed down a little bit. But, I mean, slowing down something like this only does so much when you can do that. Yes, Kaiju Jelio can swim. Yes, Kaiju Jelio can swim. Yeah, no, I don't really understand what the point in doing this for Kaiju Jelio was. I genuinely don't understand. Okay. I'm about to say something really mean. And I want everyone to understand that it comes from a place that I care about the game. This stat team is ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous at this point. I don't understand what's going on. I feel like what's happened is all the stat team has kind of gone into the stat server, right? And they've just been a group of people who have been yes-menning themselves into thinking that they're doing a good job with these stats. And they're not. This is ridiculous. I don't know what's going on with the stat team, but it's getting on my nerves, okay? This is ridiculous. And before anyone even, like, I don't even need to know the range of this thing, okay, against Evanicus, because what you can do with flyers is you can go down, dive bomb, hit people, fly directly back up. Go down, dive bomb, hit people. It doesn't matter if Evanicus has better range than Jelio, because Evanicus cannot catch Jelio. It cannot catch flyers. It can't. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if people say it's a skill issue. I will show you what it takes to catch a flyer. Because literally a flyer, look. In order to catch up to a flyer, you have to do this as Evanicus. You have to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And in the meantime, the Kaiju Jelio just flies away. There's nothing you can do. So, people being like, oh, well, Evanicus has a glide that it can escape. Like, yes, Evanicus is faster than Jelio. Absolutely. Then, like, but that thing can fly and swim. Like, I don't understand what's going on with these stats. I don't know if it can face tank it, but what I do know is you can probably skybox it. As you can skybox pretty much anything with flyers if you're smart enough and if you're good enough at the game. Alien Irritator got buffed. 2.7 bleed buff. Interesting. Alien Irritator has 1.5k HP. There's no way that's true. There's no way that's true. Oh man. Oh, there's actually no way that's true. So Irritator has 1,100. Okay. Okay. That's true. I forgot that it had this much health. But let me make one of my points. Real quick. Oh, I can. I think my account is crashed with the, like, how much is Permian worth in DNA? Permian? The excavator? Let me just make my point abundantly clear. While my Evanicus is dying. This creature has less health than Alien Irritator. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. You mean to tell me you think this thing deserves 1.4k HP? And it has less health and less defense. And I'm not saying that Irritator would necessarily beat Evanicus. I just think it's kind of crazy that something this big has this much. Let me remind you, Evanicus is Rex sized. I can even pull out Rex and show you that it is. Now I know Ripper's a little bit bigger than base Evanicus. But that's besides the point. Because it's all, like I said, it's a little bit bigger. So let's go Rex. Call it Rex. You know, Rex is a good comparison creature. Right. See. Evanicus, same size as Rex. However, 1.4k HP. 1.7. I'm just like, I don't get it. I genuinely don't. And I know what the argument that it's always made is that Evanicus, you know, can glide, right? That's the entire excuse. That's the whole entire excuse about Evanicus' HP. That has been the excuse for ages. But Evanicus is fast so that it can catch up with things. That's the point of it. It's so that it can catch up with things. That's why it exists. It's a pursuit predator. You can't pursue anybody if they outrun you. Right? The point of this thing is to catch things. Right? It's supposed to... Thank God Microdon is irrelevant now. Not gonna lie, stat team should post their idea and changes in UG to let all the community decide the buffs they go through. Well, no, there's a separate Discord for stat. There's a stat Discord. There's a stat team Discord. But me personally, I'm too busy to be able to talk about stats, and a lot of the community also isn't in the stat server. So they have a stat server, like, that you can suggest ideas in. I don't know whose idea it was to buff Albino Terror, though. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Especially that since Albino Terror is good. And I'm always getting rejected to get Evanicus buffed. People never want Evanicus buffed in the server. Because they're a bunch of Evanicus haters. Well, people... Yeah, no, people... The stat server seems to be a bunch of people who love Jelio and hate Evanicus. Because those stats are ridiculous. I don't understand. Oh, I know, there's a different stat server, but it's completely filled with people on bias and toxicity, and I literally was beyond pissed last night with the reasoning defending Terror buffs, literally because it doesn't beat Megavore. Why should it beat Megavore? I love Terror, but a lot... Yeah, no, Terror is was in a good spot. Terror and Albino were both in, or sorry, Terror. I just said Terror and Albino. Terror and I don't. Megavore has needed kind of a little bit of changes from what I've heard. A lot of people are saying Terror's or it's not in a good spot. Terror was in a great spot. 1800 HP, 170 damage. Like, it was good. It didn't need an additional bleed either. I don't know why in the world we're giving it 2 bleed. That doesn't make any sense to me. These stats make no sense, so I don't understand. Everyone uses Terror already. Like every war, you always see Terror. Like I feel like you always see it. Call me crazy, but I feel like you always see it. This will be AV speed next update. Yeah. Let's see. And then yeah, no, I made these I it's just the server. This is the stat server, mind you. Like I argue with people, argued in this people. Like people say AB's whole thing is to suck against things its own size, which that's not true. Okay, let me just preface that's not the whole thing with Evanicus. That's what people are saying now, right? That's not Evanicus' whole thing. Evanicus' whole thing is not that it's supposed to suck against the things that it's within that it's around the same size. That's now the case. That's now what people are pushing for it. That's not always been the case. I would know. I've been defending AV ever since it came out. I've been playing this game prior to, like, I've had Evanicus since it came out. I know what Evanicus' identity was supposed to be, right? And it's not that it's supposed to lose against its things against its size. That's not true. That's what people are saying, and like the argument is it glides. People are always overestimating how good gliding is. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's not the most insane thing ever. You know how you beat gliding? With flying. That's how you beat gliding. Right? Gliding's fast because you can't just fly up infinitely. You can go up decently high, right? And you can go up infinitely. You can't like this. However, you can't just fly up straight like this. You can't just go up like this and like stay going up. You fall back down. We're talking about the stat changes right now in the game. We're talking about stat changes. How Albino Terror got buffed to 1.9k HP. Kaiju Jelio got buffed to 1.5k HP. And how everyone is kind of irritated with the stat team at this point. And I feel like the continued sentiment, I could be wrong if the whole community isn't on board with hating the stat team with these restats. But Albino Terror got an entire buff. Like, Albino Terror's, like, just got buffed. Because Albino Terror's old stats, and I'll put it on, like, I don't know, V3. And this is what Albino Terror stats, like, were before this. 170. 25. And this was 15, and this was 1 bleed, and the cooldown was 1.8. This was terror stats before this update. This was right before the stats, and this was fine in my opinion. This was what its stats were right before this update. I don't know why, like, I don't know why it needed more damage, more health, and then more bleed. I don't and then it got 3 additional point seconds of cooldown. Size buff Terra and give it no range. It fixes everything. Why did okay, but why does Terra need to Terra's already massive. Terra is already humongous. This thing is bigger than Rex, like significantly at this point. I don't know if I have my Rex. I do have my Rex grown. Okay. Let me bring my Rex up here, and I'll show you. Terra does not need a size buff. This is Terra next to Rex. Rex is a giant theropod. A giant theropod. Evanicus is on par with size of Rex. But Albino Terra is massive. So I need water. You just think it's because I'm here. Let me I don't, do I have Chaos Rex on this one? Let me check. I don't. Let me see. Let me grab. The reason why Terror got buffed is because Megavor's OP. So you just make Terror OP as well, instead of, I don't know, nerfing Megavore. Although I don't understand that, because there's a lot of people in the server who are saying that Megavore's not strong enough and who are wanting Megavore buffs. So I don't know if that sentiment is really true. I don't really see Megavore in update or in wars. Okay, so this is Chaos Rex. Rex. Okay. Dang. I guess Rex might be tiny, but that also points out that Evanicus is tiny at that point. Megavore beats current albino. Does it? I don't know if it does. I need someone in here to test it, because I don't. I need to test it. The AoE does. Let's see. And let me just preface. Megavore is like significantly slower than here. Let me put in the private server link again. Megavore is pretty significant. I mean, it was 2 speeds slower. Now it's only 1 speed slower, but it was decently significantly slower than Terror. Also, let me point out the fact that these Terror changes made it to where it's as slow as I know Veneer got nerfed. I don't know if it's the worst skin now. It's got 65. 65 is still pretty good from what I know. I don't know if there's anything better. But let me just point out the fact that Terror's speed now is equivalent to Faso. 14. 14. So they're both the same speed now. Although Faso was supposed to be kind of like the herbivore king of the land, and Terror is the carnivore king of the land. So I don't know what's going on with the stats. Terror was 15. Now it's 14. And I mean, Megavore does have more health than Albino Terror, but I don't know. Does it? See, what's the 1.5? It's got 1.5 cooldown. Albino's got 2.1, so it is significantly faster. Crazy to me that Terra has the same HP as a massive whale that does nearly the same damage as a giant sauropod. See, range 64. Oh, I guess base Megavore might actually be good now. I guess, well, be equivalent to Venera. Also, I hate the veins on Megavore. I genuinely hate them. I think they look disgusting. I feel like it makes it too kaiju-y for me, personally. Like, it's cool, but I feel like it's just too much. Here, let me invite you over to here so you can actually get over here. I love climbing as this thing. Climbing's pretty fun. Ow. Mega looked so clean before it got the veins back. Yeah, it did. I don't like the veins, and I've heard the veins are kind of laggy. Here, make your own pack. Like, go separate. Yeah, I was talking to this guy. Okay. So, we're not going to do a 1v1. What we're going to do is we're just going to face tank each other. That proves that'll, like, get anything out of the water. We're just going to face tank. Okay. Let's do it on my roar. All right. 3, 2, 1. Face tank. Okay. So you're at 1.13. I mean, you got one more bite in. I don't know. It didn't bleed albino. I did get you to yellow first. That is true. I did get you to yellow first. But I'd also like to point out that Megavore is slower than Albino Terror. It is slower. So I don't know if I feel like it's necessarily wrong that Megavore beats Albino Terror. Yeah, but yeah, yeah, I mean, we can test it. I don't know if you do. Megavore can tail AoE, and it just one taps it. I'm not justifying Albino, but like that's the reason it got buffed. Okay, but why buff something to make it overpowered than to make you know, bring something down, right? Why don't, like, I'm just saying, if that's the argument, I don't understand it. Yeah, Albino used to have 25, now it's got 20. I'm kind of sad that Veneer isn't the best skin anymore, though, for Megavore, because it's going to go unused, kind of. I enjoyed using Veneer, though. I don't know what would be the best skin. Same terror buff wasn't needed. It's fine how it was. Yeah, I don't really get why they changed terror. It genuinely doesn't make any sense to me. I think the best skin is Apex. Well, Apex is completely statted differently. 63, so this is actually worse than base, right? Base, what do I call it? Let you range test to see? Okay. Let me go back to base Megavore. Let me come over here. Alright. Alright. I think this is, yeah. I mean, I get outranged on base. Let me keep moving. I mean, that's two, like, big steps right there. I mean, I could probably AoE you, though. Yeah, I can AoE you from here. How far away can I? People are saying, like, it's... Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if that's significant enough, in my opinion. I don't really know if that's significant enough to really warrant a buff. Because I can still, yeah. I can still hit you from there. I don't know. Let me, I'll have to look at, whatchamacallit, Apex. I just joined. Base Meg is actually good now, yeah. I think, yeah, okay. Well, let me look and see if, whatchamacallit. Let me put you in the pack. So you can come up here. We need to test more stuff. Do I level up by getting boosts? You level up by talking in the server. That's how you level up. Boosting does give you access to stuff though, but I try to make it to where it's not just a pay to get it. Apex Hothead. Apex Hothead has completely different stats, so I don't even know how good Apex would be. We can, yeah. Let's see what's the range on this guy. 64. No, actually, Apex is worse than base Megavore technically, range wise. I don't know if it beat. How much range does base have? 65, I think, is what it said. I could be wrong. It's either 65 or 64. So it's either on par or the same. Okay. All right. Is this the borrowed D-Rex? No, this is, I own D-Rex now. This D-Rex belongs to me. I fully expected them to be able to hit each other by now. There we go. Okay, well, I got a little bit of range on that 65 meters. All right. It was given to me. Here. Keep biting me so until we can figure out when. Okay. You ran out of thirst. But I'm glad D-Rex is still good. Although it absolutely gets boxed up by flyers. I'm not gonna lie. I was in a war with someone was playing D-Rex and they got just messed up by flyers. No, Vanera has one less, I think. I think Vanera said that at 63. I could be wrong. It could be 64. Alpha K Spano is actually enormous. Yeah. The Kaiju Spanos are like all enormous. I'm still kind of annoyed that Alpha Kaiju Spano wasn't put on the other Spinosaurus Oxalia. Dude, I have to get used to these terror stats now. I think they should be reverted. I think these terror stats are bad. I think that they're doing nothing good for the game. I don't understand why. Lead range W. Vanera said 65. Oh wow. Shamus Aquatic. Can I test pitch? Can I test if Phase Tank on Wraith was patched? How does this only have 56 range? Wow. What, you want to Phase Tank D-Rex or what? Yes, you can join me. Yeah, D-Rex got a giant head. There's a thing where you couldn't hit Wraith. Yeah. No, I can hit you. mean, I can't. Well, I can't. Well, hold on. I mean, you kind of messed me up there. Although all I do to get you off is like spin. I throw you off. What's your name on Roblox? It's my private server. Here, I'll put the link again. I need to just pin this at this point. That'll be the only way you can. Even if you try to join me through Roblox, it wouldn't let you. Are there literally any animations that makes Torterra open its mouth? Yeah. When it eats, it opens its mouth. Whenever you bite it, I think it opens its mouth. I think it's been a year since. You pinned the wrong message? Did I? Oh, whoops. What? Why does it say that that one was pinned? I literally clicked my pin. Alright, there we go. Despite this being a buff, it's not good at all. What, terror? I feel like that can't be true. So how does Alien keep its stats in Yeah, I don't understand. This thing slaps AB. Well, Evanicus ranges it. Right now it does. Who's this tarnished? This is Fire John. Let me switch to Firebird. Here, let's see if we can 1v1 with Firebird. I'm also bad at PvP, so take my skills with, a grain of salt. Okay. You can switch to a better Terror skin if you want to. That's up to you. You can switch. Because people argue that Evanicus is so good, and that with these stats it's still super meta, and I don't agree with them. Because all it takes is a flyer just to skybox the hell out of you, and it's like there's nothing you can really do. AB is annoying but trash. Yeah. Well, they want it to stay trash. The stat team does not like Evanicus. It has been abundantly stated by the stat team, and I have had multiple screenshots of them actively saying that they do not like Evanicus. They purposely go against statting it good. I promise you that. They've stated it multiple times. Again, Kaiju Jelio's stats just are insane. Alright, hold on here. Watch out, guys. We're gonna 1v1 the yellow. Okay, are you in the pack or no? You gotta make sure you're out of the pack. Okay, you're not. Okay. Yeah, I've already lost this. Yeah, 3 hits and it's like you're done as Evanicus. You're just you're done. Are we serious? Yeah. I got 1 hit in. Which I mean, that's one thing, but let me heal. Okay, here, hold on. Are you gonna 1v1 as Jelio? Wow, Kaiju Jelly, you can stand 3 hits from Terror without going to yellow. Wow, you can actually tank 4 hits. Evanicus can't. Because it actually has Evanicus' old HP. Which is just, that's crazy to me that Jelio gets old Evanicus HP. They're legitimately trying to make Evanicus the smallest hybrid. They're legitimately trying to do that. And I think it's dumb. I think Evanicus should still... Evanicus was part of the initial trio, and I don't understand why it's getting the boot so hard. Like I said, 1700 HP, Evanicus, 135 damage, 1 bleed was like, and this was old bleed, mind you, was like the best, like, balance-wise Evanicus was. Evanicus made a name for itself simply because out of the 3 hybrids is the only one the new players get. Why they give it back? Why giving it the backhand? It's such a gorgeous design. Yeah, I don't know. Evanicus is one of the most creative hybrids in my opinion. Like, because Megabore is simply Ultimosaurus. Like, if we're gonna be so real right now, Albonotera is Indominus, right? Right. Alamedas is cool. Love Alamedas. Faso's interesting. It's one of the most underutilized one. And Dolly is also pretty underutilized, and it's an aquatic. So, Evanicus, in my opinion, just logically is the coolest one. And the most unique designed. And they just slap it in the face. So dynamic. What's up, everybody? Currently, we're talking stats because Albonotera got a buff to 1925 HP, 185 damage, and 2 bleed. And 3 shots at Evanicus to yellow. Nearly a year after Alamedas' design, everyone started calling it bad design. I think Alamedas has a great design. I think the animations for it are kind of not great. I think Alamedas needs like reanimated at the very least, something, because its fly up animation is just not it. And right now, I don't feel like I've seen a lot of Alamedas's. Like, I saw them during like the Halloween update when you could skybox with Berserk, but beyond that, like, I don't really see it. Do you think Arthropleura could be added into the game? Yeah, I mean we have Chimera Arachne. It would just be up in the air of like what niche it would have. I don't like how fast the animations are. Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying with Alamedas. It's just not. I love Dolly. Dolly's great. I mean, Dolly was made by one of my best friends. The Dolly arc or whatever you want to call him. That's my homeboy. Like, me and him have been friends for years. So I love Dolichomalosaurus. Absolutely. I have nothing bad to say about Dolly. One of my favorite hybrids, made by one of my best friends. So I absolutely love this thing to death. Yeah, Fruit Bats. That's what his in-game name is. That is one of my friends. I know him very well. And then yeah, let me go to Alamedas. Because the thing about Alamedas is like it's like this this animation is so goofy. Flying up is so goofy. It shouldn't fly up like this. This is ridiculous. Like this is so ridiculous. What it should be is it should be like a nice slow fly up. It should be slow. I need water. Alamedas is a really cool design creature. It's just, it's not meta in the slightest, and I feel like it doesn't fit in really with the meta. I don't even know really how to balance Alamedas since it's a flyer. And Metron, like, I like Metron, and I understand why it has different stats. The problem is that Metron kind of just makes, if you don't have Metron, right? Like, Metron kind of makes the other pieces, like, just kind of obsolete. Because it's just so much better. The screen is black? What? That's only for you, Lucy. The screen on my thing is working. I can turn it on and back off again, but it's functioning as far as I'm concerned. Metron just uses AoE over your head. Yeah, well, Metron also just has kind of crazy stats. And it like, there's no point in using anything but Metron. Icy is cursed to never be good. Dude, Icy was good at the very beginning. I don't know why it's like not. This is why I feel like a rotational meta is the best way to do things. I've been talking about this for ages, and I need to make a suggestion video so I can get it out there and I can get it to the attention of devs. And I know a rotational meta would probably be more difficult to make that into something. But I feel like we're constantly in a state of fighting between everyone, you know, for stats and what we want to be good and stuff like that. I feel like a rotational meta, either a rotational meta, a map-based meta, you know, something like that, just like, I feel like it needs to like change, right? Ranges, stuff like that, or like, you know, each server swapping the stats out. Like, and I can make an idea. I can make like a drawing of the idea that I have, but I just feel like stats are always just such a gripe with like the whole entire community. That's what tears this community apart more than anything else is stats. Stats is what rips this community apart because different people like different things and think different things should be good. Like, I love Evanicus. It's my favorite hybrid. I think Evanicus should be good. Now, does the whole community agree with me? No. Actually, the majority of the community probably disagrees with me and actually wants Evanicus to get removed from the game. Right? But then you alienate all the rest of the all the people who do like Evanicus by making it so crappy. And then if you make it decently good and fair to fight against, then people start hating on it because they don't, you know, then all of a sudden all the AV players are winning with it. Maybe. I'm up in the air about that because that's only 3 things. It's just like, I don't know. The way I see it, another idea is that server based, like, you get plus or minus a certain amount of range. So we have this number here, right? The last number tells you the range of the creature. Being able to like add +5 or +10 or -5, -10 to this number, if they could somehow figure out a way to do that and make it to where it's like it changes each server. So each server you go to, the range is like +1, +2, +5, whatever, right? That could like make it to where, you know, if you join a server and you're like, oh, well, Evanicus in the server has -10. It's like everybody who hates Evanicus is going to want to play on that server because no one's going to want to play as Evanicus. And then everyone's going to go to, who likes Evanicus is going to go to the server that has +10, +5, whatever, to Evanicus. And they could just make it to where there's like a random stat of playables and whatnot. And possibly what they could do, this is like another thrown out here idea, is where they could make it to where you could spend either Robux to get, to either reroll something in the server stat, range wise, or you could make it to where it you know, you get a plus to it, right? So it'd be for everybody. It's like, well, I want Evanicus to be good. It's gonna cost me, you know, 30 Robux to increase it just for this server for X amount of time, something like that. Or you can make it to where it's, you know, behind DNA, or you can make it to where that's not even an option if people don't like that idea. But that's another one of my ideas that I've had for a while, and I don't know how well it'd be implemented. I'd have to talk to Chicken Engineer about it, about something like that. But I feel like something that makes tour meta is not just determined by a group of people in a Discord server that, you know, not everyone has the time to, you know, sit there and argue about stats over and over and over again. Because, you know, at the end of the day, right, people can balance the game, right, in their mind. People, and, you know, I'm sure the stat team will argue that they know the best balance for the game because they, you know, are sitting there testing it. And, you know, that there is a good, you know, logic to that. There is logic to that. They're sitting there, they're testing it. It's like, but they're also testing it to their own wants and needs. Right, what they like, how they like to play the game. That's what they're balancing it to. They're balancing it to what feels right to them. Whenever there's an entire player base that, you know, is sitting here wanting it to be balanced in a completely different way. Because like people have argued with me in the game or in the server, is that Evanicus should be weaker to all the other creatures around its same size. Everything around its size. So anything that is around Rex's size, Kark, Giga, Rex, Mapu, Chili, like that is such a big list of playables that like you can't even war with it at that point. And that's, you know, that's what they think is the right decision. That's what they believe is the right way to do it. And they think that Jelio should be strong because it's a version of Megavore, right? They think it should have high defense. They should think it should be able to beat Evanicus. They think it should be really strong, playable. Versus me, who I think Jelio is an illegitimate hybrid that should have never been added to the game, and that it's ridiculous that it's in the game. But Jelio, Blamison cooked on Jelio's concept, and Jelio is a great concept. But I genuinely think that it should be the smallest hybrid and the weakest hybrid because it's an illegitimate hybrid that didn't deserve to be added to the game. It got added whenever the game was dying, and was really never intended to be anything crazy. Jelio is a fraud. I want Skila. Well, you can play Skila. I'm calling Jelio a fraud because Skila's a fraud. Like, I hate to break it to you, but Skila was a submission. If you don't know, Skila was a submission for the hybrid contest several years ago in 2018. Whenever Evanicus, Jelio was one of the runner-ups. Skila was one of the runner-ups. And it got added retroactively during the time of the game, you know, dying is why it got added. And it was never supposed to be something crazy. But Blamison cooked really hard, and Jelly was genuinely an amazing concept and cool, like, you know, speculative biology. And now it's like kind of been fighting for the last spot with Evanicus of, you know, what would be better. Hey J-Man, IGTD, just to make sure make sure Glider AV a thing. That would be cool to have that. I want, whatchamacallit, Galactic Evanicus. See you, casual. Okay, I know Skila sucked when it released. Yeah, it sucked because it wasn't supposed to be good. It wasn't supposed to be a contender for anything. Trying to come up with a realistic viewpoint about DS when we have a literal Megavore, Abonatera, and everything, even Caveman. Skila needs to remake like Skin. I don't know. Skila's fine. It's just, I'm tired of Jelio fighting about Evanicus' stats. It's annoying to have to sit here and have to argue with people over Jelio. And like I said, the best way in my idea is to have a stat rotator where you have a specific set of stats that you kind of follow along. That's like an A rotation where, you know, you can have your Abonatera meta, Jelio meta, like all like the things that are super popular that everybody really likes. You know, make them just super powerful and overpowered or whatnot. Whatever you want to do. And then make a meta where, you know, things that are underpowered, Evanicus, you know, Alametus, Dolichomalosaurus, Faso, like those kind of hybrids are good, and the other hybrids are okay, and they're not too anything, like, you know. And then a C rotation where hybrids suck. That way nobody plays as hybrids during that rotation, and just make it a rotational thing by month. There's a few ideas that I have about this that I've talked about on multiple occasions. I feel like having a stat server, like, it's a good idea, but it doesn't work in practice. It doesn't seem to have worked in practice. I don't have the time to dedicate to making sure the game is good. I simply don't. Remember how broken were the old stats of Dinos in 2018? Yeah, 2018, the stats of some stuff were pretty crazy. Evanicus was terrifying during that time. But yeah, I really, really don't want to have to, you know, be mean to the stat team, because I understand that balancing a game is really hard. But I genuinely think right now, like, I don't understand what's going on through their mind with these restats. I don't get it. Ow. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like these terror things are just ridiculous. Sorry about that. Let's see. Also, you mentioned Galactic AB is my mind flowing with ideas. I've already made a Galactic AB concept. I can repost it again for like the 15th time. Hi there. But yeah, I don't know. These stats and whatnot. This abundance update. I need to get into like more wars and whatnot. Can you send me your galley? I can post it in the whatchamacallit server. But I think I've gotten most of my points across, and we've tested a good amount, and everyone kind of is in agreement that this Terror buff is kind of ridiculous and crazy, even if Albino is beaten by Megavore. So, I think I'm going to end stream right here, and I might cook up a video at some point. I still need to, like, look into stats and everything whenever I have a chance. It's just... Oh, I'm at my wit's end. But anyways, guys, that's all for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!